I'm having my one.
In a podcast far, far away, the galaxy has never been in more danger. For it is I, Darth Paul, and I'm joined by the Phantom Menace himself. It's Tom.
I can't use my normal Star Wars hello there if I'm that character, can I? Although
So,
who was the Phantom Menace? That's the question, right? Who was it?
I don't know. Maybe it was the poor CGI.
Yeah, yeah,
The CGI in that was awful.
yeah. And I mean, there's so many answers to it in but actually, conspiracy is that it's Jar Jar, right? He's
Yeah,
the true Phantom Menace. Only Sith have yellow eyes.
yeah,
Fact.
fact. Shall we do the podcast
Yeah, go on.
or just slate the Phantom Menace?
We have talked about just making this a movies podcast.
Fine. Probably more popular.
Watch out for the spin-off where it can't be much less popular, can it?
So, the question before we start, do you have your Lando Calrissian on the table? Have you been looking for the Force in Alderaan places? Or do you
That's a
find
great one.
or do you find my lack of strategy disturbing? Enough of these labored puns because this is the podcast you are looking for. It's a trap! So we have just played the Star Wars deck building game. We reviewed it all the way back at episode 38, many moons ago.
I thought I was having
And,
deja vu.
and with the release of the Clone Wars edition and also the Mandalorian faction pack that you can get, we thought we'd have another few plays of this game. It's a popular game and talk about it again. So the way the game works is you draw 5 cards into your hand, play them out, and they give you some credits, some attacking power, and potentially some force. It's about how you manage those, how you buy cards from the market deck, and attacking your opponent's bases. Unlike some simpler deck building games, your bases will give you little bonuses, but I think the neat trick in this as well is, as well as generic cards in the market deck that anyone can buy, you also might draw some of your own factions out, which you can buy, but you can also attack the opponent's factions, removing them so they can't get them and gaining you some little bonuses. Still just played with a large deck of cards, no extra pieces really needed. Tom, coming back to it, are you still enjoying the game?
Yeah, it's really good. We hadn't played it for quite a long time, but just coming back and giving it another go was really, really good. I think the all of the clever things we said last time will definitely still be true about this game. It's, I think, very good in what it's doing with the theming of it is you get to have all the characters coming through, and because it's a deck builder you kind of cycle through, so you see those quite a lot, the cards that you'd want to see, and it does kind of go on at quite a pace as well. So, it really doesn't take long. Like, I think the best deck builders don't take long to do, playing your 5 cards that you've got. And sure, maybe to get a little bit further through the game, there's a bit of thinking of, okay, I'll do that and do this to gain some bonuses to have the most optimized turn possible. But I think you're still taking less than a minute over your turn most of the time, right?
Yeah, largely, which is great for a bit of player interaction as well, a little chat. You're not sat around, you're not getting bored. And as you say, you're not waiting for a turn.
Yeah.
You've drawn your cards, so while your opponent is plotting against you, you're scheming yourself and working out what you can do, hoping they don't destroy that one card in the market row that you desperately need or purchase one, which is the one they always go for, right?
Yeah, inevitably. Uh, it feels quite. So we've played it twice recently. So we played just the head to head, and then we played a sort of asymmetric thematically one that maybe we'll
Yeah.
talk about some more in a bit. But it Um, the newer this or the newer it came out in 24. Clone Wars version of it is quite fun. I think it has a lot of different well, obviously different characters and things like that in it. You've got a load of stuff that actually I don't know if this is controversial, but I actually kind of like the theming of that one more than the original three movies. I know they came up under a lot of when they first came out in the what was it, 99, I think Phantom Menace came out.
Oh,
They came out with a lot of criticism. But actually I think they're quite good. I really like the story of it anyway. I know
yeah,
it's very
yeah, yeah.
easy to go like, oh, it's just trade and how interesting is that? That starts the whole, but it's actually a really interesting story. I think it's probably because it's been fleshed out and over the years, having watched the some of the TV shows that sit around some of this, it's given a bit more of the backstory, and so I understand the
Yeah.
lore of it a bit more now. And so there are parts of it I think they're awesome, and it's great to be having Obi-Wan Kenobi at his in his prime
Prime
playing
Kenobi.
Prime Kenobi playing his cards, so that's all cool. But it's also there's lots of really cool things about I think the Clone Wars characters that you've got dopey stuff like General Grievous with his four lightsabers, which is dumb, but it's brilliant.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's there's a lot of good stuff. I've slightly forgotten where I was going at that point, but all in all, it's good fun playing with the Clone Wars edition. I don't know that it particularly adds anything extra in this one. It's just a different theme, right?
it is. Yeah, and they're largely doing the same thing. And what's nice is you can mix and match. So we played droids versus stormtroopers just now before we started recording. Not quite sure how I feel about it, but
Come on, Paul. It's normally me who has those sort of
yeah,
problems.
I know. Um, but it's so much fun. I don't know about you as well. I tend to, even if it's bad choices, I tend to like try and play it thematically as well. So
Yeah.
if I've found and managed to buy Han, I will go out of my way to then buy Chewie, even if it'll be detrimental to my game, because they gotta be together, right?
Right. And so I had a little bit of that there. It didn't really fit the separatist theme completely, but trying to get Jabba and various different bounty hunters, so that all worked quite well
Yeah,
until it didn't work well, and you won.
yeah. Although
It does.
I guess it leads on to a negative because the previous game we played, you won, and I think
That's the negative.
we we both struggled because the nature of any deck builder
Mm.
is with a random market selection is if the cards you don't want don't come out. No, if the cards you do want don't come out, then you can just have a terrible time. So the first time we played, you just had all of your faction cards and there was very little I could do. So you're just pinging away at my health and I couldn't really buy anything decent to try and stop that. And I
Mm.
think once we got to about halfway point of the game, that kind of happened for you as well, didn't it?
Yeah, and I'm sure I remember from all those episodes ago, I think like 2 years ago, when we reviewed the original, that we had said that as well. I think that it is a bit of a negative in so far as the way in which this game's played, that market in front of you does have cards that sure anyone can buy, but your better cards, the ones that are going to work more with the other bonuses that you're naturally going to have on your planets and other things. are going to work with yours. So a lot
Yeah.
of my cards are about droid activations or buying droid cards, and they just weren't coming up.
Yeah.
And so that, yeah, it is a bit problematic. I guess putting a bit of a different spin on it, it's the sort of thing that you means you're not having the same game all the time.
Yeah,
It's not
definitely.
just a completely, there's a massive deck or market of 20 cards that you can buy from. Is that you have to kind of deal with the challenge and adapt your game a little bit. It's, I think, going to be more difficult for you, but there probably would if you were good at this game. If one were good at this game, there probably is a way of being able to counter that somehow, I would think.
Yeah, possibly. But again, does it matter? They're fairly quick games. Now, I say they're fairly quick games. We tend to play with a limited amount of planets. I think if you played with all the planets, it's nine.
Hmm.
And I think for me, I think it would drag the game out longer than I'd be comfortable playing that type of game with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, fair enough. I understand that. I think I've only ever played it with 4 or 5 cards, something like that, base cards to try and destroy. Uh,
Yeah, I've played
so
it
yeah,
with all of the cards, and by the end,
can't have
A,
done with
I
it.
felt it was very clear who the winner was going to be,
Mm.
and B, kind of just had enough.
Well, I guess that's the thing. You're absolutely right. If that market isn't going with you, then you don't want to be sitting and having that sort of game forever, do you? You want it to be fairly prompt in terms of how quickly you're going through it. So you can just shuffle up and have another go. I think we said last time that it'd be quite good if there was some mechanic where you could refresh the market completely.
Yeah,
I don't know if that would muck things up or not, but throw away, maybe exile some cards to do that, or maybe that feels like too much of a benefit, but do something that impacts your turn. Maybe just do nothing on your turn, but then allows you to clear the market, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. I think possibly. I mean, when we've played Star Realms in the past, we kind of play if no one buys a card from the market in 4 turns,
Sure, it's a grey house rule. Yeah,
then that kind of works for us.
yeah, yeah. I think I think that's fine. I wonder if there is something about the different decks that if you were playing this a lot, it might be interesting to have a look to know a bit more. That if you were playing this a lot and you knew the different decks a bit more, you'd know that they kind of leaned one way or another a little bit more, that you'd have certain strengths in certain areas. It'd be interesting to see that. I kind of feel like there probably is something like that there, that in just our two games, or if we look at particularly the last game that we had, you as the Empire were getting more cards that were some kind of beefier ships, or
Yeah,
certainly having that Star Destroyer that you had that was doing a massive amount of damage and had like 7 hit points on it or something like that. Brilliant, because that's exactly what it should be. It should be an absolute beast to destroy. And on my side, I had some ships, but they were a bit weaker that I could buy. Maybe there was some better stuff in there. But perhaps mine is more about the, I'm slightly just thinking out loud here, but having lots of droid cards or something and being able to cycle through many, many, many droid cards, because
yeah,
I seem to have a lot of cards that allowed me to be cycling through, getting stuff out of my deck or out of the exile pile or whatever. So there's probably something like that. It'd be quite interesting to know that if there was a strategy, better strategy to play, that you weren't just, okay, how much damage, how much money can I get?
yeah, yeah. I think possibly, but also I quite like just the randomness of it. I think if I played it so much that I felt that, oh, there's now the strategy that you have to take, I think I'd
Yeah,
maybe stop playing.
sure. I get what you mean, but I think isn't that quite common? Maybe that's a bit more collectible card game style, really. that you're building the deck and you
Yeah.
play the strategy, I suppose, around that. It just from the two plays that we had recently, just started to feel. Who did I play as in the first game? Was I the Republic, and you played
Yes.
the Separatists? I can't quite remember. It was about a week ago, wasn't it, that we played? I can't quite remember from their point of view, but there was certainly a lot more Force cards, many more Force
Yeah.
cards in that one. Lots of different Jedi that you can use compared to the Separatists, anyway. I think. Uh, yeah, yeah, cool. It is good. It is a good game. I'm really pleased as well that it wasn't just it's the Star Wars deck building game and you're done. I think we spoke about that at the time, and I think it was just before the Clone Wars edition was announced that we did our review, and then that's come out. And then, interestingly, now there's this Mandalorian faction pack, which would be quite interesting to know if that's will they do a Huts faction pack? Will they do a maybe there's not enough? I don't know, but you know what I mean. That maybe
These
they'll
cards all
they'll.
look the same.
I play my 10 Jabba the Hutts. Yeah.
I think
Uh,
it lends itself, doesn't it, for other other expansions.
yeah, yeah, I think so.
But
I'm just pleased that they've done this many. I mean, it's Fantasy Flight, right? So I think they're always going to try and
yeah,
find a way to do more with the game.
I
But it
mean,
was
we were worried at first because when it came out almost exactly the same time as the collectible card game.
it did, yeah.
And so we were like, well, they're never going to do any more for this. But
And it's interesting. I haven't heard or seen a lot about that collectible card game, so I don't know whether it's kind of fallen
no, although I have to say, for both of us, is not really an area of gaming we're particularly
sure,
into. So
sure. Yeah. Yeah, but I had thought it was going to be quite a big deal. You see a lot of stuff around the Lorcana game that came out in maybe a year or so before.
so huge, wasn't it?
Maybe that was the thing. It's just a bit too close to another one. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's a
because I mean,
big
I think for
commitment.
the people that get into it, it's a bit of a an all or nothing
Yeah,
because you need to keep getting the booster packs and upgrading, otherwise you'll fall behind everyone else.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas I just love games like this because it's all in one box, or now in two boxes and an
A little
expansion.
one.
But
Yeah.
yeah, um, but overall, I think it just works. It works so well. What about the artwork?
Love it. I think it's done in a um, kind of like movie style,
Yeah.
which I think is unlike actually the collectible card game. I think they took a different route with that, didn't they, from memory?
Yes.
But this is very much leaning on the movie artwork, albeit in an illustrated style. And I think that's exactly what I want from this. If I'm playing something Star Wars, I want it to feel Star Warsy that I remember from the TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
And this is what this very much does.
And I think they did it well because although it kind of all fits in one style, especially with the Clone Wars side of things. Obviously, I mean, you did watch the Clone Wars
I
series?
ended up watching all of it. Yeah,
It's really good. Supposedly,
Mostly really good. There's some really baggy episodes in
just
the middle of like season three or something.
a
That's
couple of
just
fillers.
it's like, bloody hell, what are you doing here?
And the there was the Bad Batch, which
Bad Batch, and never got all the way through.
I loved the Bad Batch, but because you've got kind of different art styles, I think they've done really well in this to
It's a
sort
good point.
of link everything in, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like Ventress, for example, who is only in the like the animated Clone
Yeah.
Wars, right? so doesn't really have that same, what's the movie version of Ventress? I don't think she's any live action stuff at all, as far as I know. But yeah, I agree. They've hit a nice happy medium with that, with the drawn kind of style
Yeah.
of them. Yeah,
And the
it's really
cards
nice of them.
are clear, the you know, any abilities and powers. Because it doesn't have iconography, and there are so many games that do iconography very, very well. But
Mm.
invariably, when you're playing, you're then having to look up. We've been playing Castle. What have we been playing Castle?
Panic. No,
Castle, no,
Castle Combo.
Castle
Castle
Combo.
Combo.
And yeah, very clear iconography once you've got it in your head, but you need to be.
Mostly.
I think I've played it a few more times than you. But with this is if your character is a unique character, it's got a little star next to it, so you know it's unique, and there's only one of those in the game. But then whether it's a trooper or a vehicle or a bounty hunter, that's all in bold.
Yes,
And so
keywords, right. Yeah.
just all the keywords are in bold so that when you're reading the description, it makes it nice and simple for you.
Yep. Yeah, very. And I think that's one of the things that they did incredibly well with this, that um it does exactly what you said. Very, very simple symbols. Everything is easy to know what to do. You can pick it up. I think I first learnt this, I think at Expo, when did we go first? 23?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we just sat down at the Fantasy Flight section, or Asmodee, whatever it was, and either you or Neil taught it to me in like 5 minutes. It was so simple to just pick up and have a go. Again, I think there's probably some really good strategy that you can develop if you know what you're doing, but equally, as you said, you kind of like it's fine not to. It's just
Yeah.
almost shouldn't be that sort of game, perhaps.
Yeah. Um, and then one little thing, and I know we talked about it back in 38. So for those real aficionados that are, revisiting it all time and time again,
You remember listener, right?
yeah, but it's the force track as well.
Yes.
So
Yep.
that's got that little push-pull element of who the force is with.
Mm.
And if you get the force all the way to you at the start of your turn, you get a little bonus credit. But
Yep.
there are a number of cards where their abilities are better if the force is with you. And I can't remember which one it is, but there's one in the original game
Mm.
that Kyra, when we play, always seems to pull out, which is discard a card. When this card is played, your opponent discards a card.
Mm.
However, if the force is with you, they have to discard a card at random.
Oof. Okay.
And and it's killed me in so many games.
Yeah.
And but I really like those little abilities. So you're then thinking, oh, she's got the card. So you may be focusing more resources to try and pull the force back your way.
Yeah. I think that's maybe something that I noticed. Again, it could be just the cards that are out, but noticed in our uh Empire versus Separatist game is I barely seem to have any cards that could pull the force back towards me. What was the main card that you had that was doing that for you?
I had Lobot,
Okay, right.
which was
Famous force character.
he's great because he gives you two of either credits, attack or force.
That's great.
And I
Yeah,
got him
that's
very
good.
early on, so he's coming out quite a lot. Obviously, later on in the game, when your deck gets that much bigger, you then lose some of those more frequent cards because they got to
Yeah.
cycle through.
I mean, that's the big question is when are we going to see the Lobot miniseries? He's clearly a key
I
character in the Star Wars universe.
I cannot wait. He always seems to. I always seem to get him as a bounty in
Yeah, Outer Rim.
Outer Rim. Yeah,
Yeah.
every single time.
You know what we need to do? We need to do a top five, maybe 10, five Star Wars games. We'll count up how many we've got that we've played first.
Yeah,
But then that would be really good. We'll do a top. enter a number here. Star Wars games that we've played.
We'll have to play the Admiral Akbar It's a Trap game, which
Just try and stop me.
is essentially Scrabble
He's losing me a bit.
with punctuation. And you're trying to spell out on your Scrabble board, it's a trap.
Okay.
It scores a whopping 3.9 on
Oh,
BG.
really? Oh, that good. Yeah. Great.
So
Yeah, nice.
maybe don't hold your breath for that one.
Yeah, that might not feature. There's a few others though.
Yeah.
Yeah, great theme for so many games. Yeah, I love
Yes.
it.
Yeah, and definitely not just trying to rip off our purse strings just because it's got the
There's
words.
always another Star Wars game, but I'll always give them a go. There was that very interesting looking Mandalorian book game that came out a couple of years ago. Do you remember that
Yeah,
one?
there
That looks cool.
was.
I think you could basically just play through each of the Mandalorian TV show first season missions, basically, is what it seemed to amount to. Um, so yeah, maybe I'll have to do that one
Still
first.
sold on that one.
And every other one that there is. I mean, how many? Just this is just a real quick test. What do you think in terms of Star Wars games on BGG?
What
More than I can count is the answer.
with the title Star Wars in them?
Star Wars in it. Okay, how many pages? How many pages of board games on
Like
BGG have got Star
I
Wars in the
I
title?
did look, and I think it was about 30 odd pages, wasn't
And
it?
it's only nine. It's only nine. Calm down. Calm down.
No,
Only
it's 30 pages.
well, maybe we've
Guaranteed.
just got our views set up separately because it says only nine on here.
Hang on. I'm going into it. I'm going in. I'm going in deep.
We've opened the can of worms here. There's one that's just called Star Wars from 1984. There you
Yeah, that one will do. It's
go.
not even.
Lowest rated. Oh, it's not even. Because he's doing all the expansions and all sorts of things to Legion, of course.
Oh, maybe that was what I was. Right. Family, movies, Star Wars, see all, showing 1 to 25 of 761.
Yeah, I think I've got different filtering on my BGG because I'm showing about 50 per page.
Okay.
All right, well, what do you think is the top one? This is getting slightly away from talking about deck building game, but it's
The
okay.
top one for
We're having a
me,
good
or
time,
am
and
I
no one's
just.
listening to this anyway, so we can talk about
No.
whatever we want. What's the? I'm going to tell you what the lowest is, where you think about what the highest rated is. So the lowest with a rating is called Star Wars Tic-Tac-Toe. Will you outwit your opponent through superior mental ability to get three in a row? Does it actually have anything to do with Star Wars? Uh, I mean, no.
And what did that score?
So that's got a fantastic 2.8.
Nice.
Yeah,
There's the
that's
Angry Birds Star Wars AT-AT battle game. So,
okay.
so
Well,
you
sounds
build a
good.
little AT-AT and then fling your Angry Birds at it.
So go on. What's the number one? I'll give you a
Well,
clue. It
this
is
is
at number 10
yeah.
in the all-time.
That it's Rebellion.
It is. It is.
It is Rebellion.
Yeah. I'm not sure I totally agree with that, but that's why we need to do our own top 10.
Yeah.
Debate it. Also, Star Realms Colony Wars has come up there because I guess there's enough words that are the same. Apparently, the sixth best Star Wars game is Star Realms. Now that's yeah, there you go. That's another. So where does Twilight Imperium fit on the top 10 Star Wars games?
Well, I
Where-
mean, it's got the diplomatic scenes, doesn't it, that you love?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
got
I
the
mean,
Senate.
how much can you just shoehorn every game in the top 100 into Star Wars in
Yeah.
somewhere?
Well, I was saying most games are a train game. Are you saying most games are a Star Wars game?
Yeah, I'm just desperately trying to think about how Brass Birmingham is a Star Wars game. I mean, it's probably if you ask Seb, it was probably George Lucas came up for the Empire when he was visiting Birmingham, right? Or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, definitely. That's what happened.
Yeah. Arc Nova sounds like it should be something to do with space.
Yeah,
Pandemic, sure. I mean, they must, have pandemics. Was anyone sick? There must have been. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a Clone Wars episode about people getting sick. Um, Gloomhaven, sure. Dune, basically Star Wars, right? Skipped over Gloomhaven because I couldn't think
I
of
think
one
you've
for
got to
that.
be very careful with that one. You are going to get a lot of hate for that.
Other way around, I mean, other way around. That's what I meant. Dune lovers. It's the other way around. Also, I'm not sure actually that Dune has anything to do with Star Wars at all,
It's in space. There's
thematically or
spaceships.
otherwise. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll
Anyway, moving on.
maybe move on.
Why don't we move on to the scores? So you previously rated it as an 8.5,
I did.
and
Well, short and sweet. I'm going to make it an 8.6 because
yeah,
I very slightly enjoy the Clone Wars theming more than the original. I think that's what it comes down to.
okay,
But basically the same game. So yeah.
nice. So I'm going to go from what was an 8.7
Oh,
to an 8.
oh, miserable. Go on.
Dropping it down. And the
Why?
reason I've dropped it down is I scored Star Realms an 8.3.
And
And
then, that was, and then realized you'd scored this, that, right?
yeah, um, and ultimately, with the choice and the people in my house, actually, no, just generally with the choice, I'd rather play Star Realms
Would you? Okay.
because it's a quicker game.
Hmm.
It's still in space. It's essentially doing the same thing. I think, although I like the extra rules of the planet upgrades and being able to attack things in the market deck, I think you can get quite limited of, as you say, if the wrong cards aren't coming out. And that doesn't seem to happen in Star Realms as much
Right.
because you don't have this huge chunk of cards that only the other player can buy.
Sure. I mean, from what I've played of Hero Realms, and if that is as close as you've always said it is,
It's just a reskin, yeah.
yeah, I can definitely see that. Um,
Um, and we went out. We love Star Realms, and I bought some of the expansions, which not to the same standard, but do more things like Star Wars Deck Building Game does.
yeah.
And they've just sat in the cupboard collecting dust
Oh,
because
really? Okay.
when we sit to play, we don't bother. We just play the base game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's if you're playing it as it's your go-to game, just you've got the deck and you play it, that you probably want to add a bit more variety, maybe. But even then, actually, maybe not. Maybe not. Hmm. Best deck builders. Maybe we need to return to that subject. I think we've done that before, but
Yeah.
best deck builders. I
Star,
think
Star Realms.
I find, having never played Star Realms, but having played Hero Realms, I think of games that are featuring deck building significantly. I think I go as far as saying that Star Wars, the deck building game, I think is my favorite.
Oh, hence the whopping 8.6.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
think on.
All right.
Nice.
Well, thank you for that. And to wrap up this episode, listener, you'll be really pleased. We've got a new special feature where Tom is going to tell us about his upcoming games he's going to play in the style of a freestyle rap. So off you go, Tom.
There's no way I can get away with that and it not offend somebody. So most of all myself.
Ugh.
So yeah, subscribe to the Patreon and you might get that. And
How
my
much would they have to pay?
it's a very exclusive Patreon that is somewhere in the region of £1 million a month.
£1 million a month, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
so
once you've been a subscriber for 12 months, Tom will freestyle rap for
I'd be so uncomfortable doing it.
you.
You can't even get me to play Blood on the Clock Tower, for goodness sake.
Just when I was making that nonsense up, I could just feel you just. Oh no. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you so much for listening. Please give us a rating on platforms that allow you to do that. Please let that rating be 5 stars. And please tell your friends. We've been the I'm Having My One podcast, and we will be back soon with another jam-packed episode full of amazing content and freestyle rapping from Tom. Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye. You went a bit Yoda at the end there.
I'm having my one.